Okay, I want to welcome everyone to tonight's presentation for Powur. We're excited to have you here. My name is Bobby Smith. I am a vice president for Powur, and our mission tonight is very simple: to walk you through our company, who we are. It's a very special presentation because we have the director of the #1 rated residential solar installation company in the United States of America, who you'll be hearing from in just a few minutes. Our goal is to walk you through very briefly who we are, what our model is, the solutions that we're providing to the industry, and give you every reason when we hang up tonight to join our company, become a part of what we're doing. So again, as you look at any company, I think the goal is to look at who's running that company, to look at the management team, who they are, where they came from. Our CEO is one of the top young entrepreneurs in the world, made millions of dollars in his 20s. Went to the rainforest with our co-founder, Jim Bunch, who's also Googleable, helped change the real estate industry forever with the virtual tour. Jonathan and Jim went to the rainforest. Jonathan saw the devastation there, and his heart and his soul compelled him to put up almost $1 million of his own money in cash to start our begin to change the way that solar is sold in the United States of America. Jonathan started putting together a team of entrepreneurs with rather extraordinary backgrounds. Again, you can tell the heartbeat of any company by who they are and who's attracted to them, who they do business with. Our experts in solar sales, software, solar design, procurement. Our recent addition of Nick, our COO. Our goal is to drive towards $1 billion IPO. Our board of directors has raised billions in venture capital. They are Googleable as well. We are extremely proud of not only the talent that we've assembled on a corporate level, but the extraordinary people, over 5,000 people that have joined the Powur family over the last 4 years. If you look at the timeline of who we are and how we got here, Jonathan started the company. Again, if I would encourage you, if you're looking at us tonight, the theme for you should be, okay, this sounds amazing. How do I know this is really the real deal? Well, our first client was the largest solar company in the world, Solar City, Elon Musk. They vetted us, they did their homework, and they decided they wanted to be a part of Powur and what we were going to do. We saw the writing on the wall with Solar City and Tesla, and we shifted our model. So we went ahead and signed contracts and were vetted by over 100 of the leading solar companies in the world. When people look at our company, it just makes sense. We went online and we went to raise money. Well, we raised more money faster online at that time through a crowdfunding campaign than any company in the history of the world. 1.4 million in just a few weeks. Our company grew to over 5,000 independent reps who paid upwards to $500 and more to join our company and learn more about solar. Our model is less expensive today because of the sheer magnitude of what we've been able to accomplish. Our network continued to grow across the United States. And then, just a few short months ago, we decided, what is it going to take to change the entire solar industry? What will it take to bring every solar professional that has a job with any solar company to move their business over to Powur? And the entrepreneurs that are in real estate, construction, home improvement, home security, or just entrepreneurs at heart, what will it take to grab them and bring them to our company? And where we landed was the first truly transparent cost of goods model that the solar industry has ever seen, which in essence means you can own your own solar company for less than you pay for cable television and make a living and build a course to a or multiple six-figure income. Our core values are we just get it done. We find a way to get things done. We serve our community. Again, we have 5,000 people on an open Facebook page. They can say whatever they want, and they share with you their stories, their success stories. People starting to earn $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in a week, in a month. And we have those stories all over the place now. We just finished up a conference in San Antonio where some of the top solar pros from around the United States all gathered and were amazed at what our company Powur has been able to accomplish. And this is truly just the beginning. Our business model is we believe that the two most important people really in the value chain of solar are, #1, the consumer. That homeowner has to have a pristine experience. They've got to be excited about getting that solar installation, put some great Yelp reviews up, and that itself helps our company to grow. The second or equally important person in that chain is the salesperson. They're putting their time and their energy and their reputation on the line. We want to make sure that they have the greatest experience in solar and they make more money than they can anywhere else in the industry and earn stock options as well. In the old model of solar, it's really very simple. You sell for a dealer, you're basically taking a job. The commissions are smaller, there's little or no support. There is no passive income, there's certainly no residual income. There's no equity, there's no ownership, which means it's just a job. The technology is not skill. That's with all due respect to the wonderful solar companies around the United States, the owners, the people that are out there doing it on the street. But there is a better way, and we'll talk about that in a moment. In our model, you sell for yourself. We have the most lucrative seller commissions in the industry, bar none. No one can touch us. Daily training and support, passive income, ownership opportunities, and again, scalable and sustainable technology. And really, the best way that we can put this in context for you is really my favorite subject in Power, is looking at the models and the companies that have changed the world that we live in today. Would you rather own a taxi cab company, or would you rather have stock in Uber? Would you rather own a cottage hotel, or would you rather have stock in Airbnb? If we look at the companies, look what's happening to Sears and Macy's while we watch Amazon change the world. And this has happened in real estate as Keller Williams came along and changed the real estate industry with profit sharing. And then EXP changed it again with revenue sharing. Where we're heading is really a Costco model for solar. Costco doesn't make much money at all on foods and goods and services. They make their money on the monthly fees of their subscribers and pass the savings on to the community. Folks, they laughed at Zuckerberg, they laughed at Microsoft, they laughed at Bezos, they laughed at all these companies when they talked about how they were going to change the world, and who is laughing now? Our company, Powur, has put that same model together to change the solar industry. Quite frankly, these companies can't compete with us because of our volume, our scaling, our technology. We don't have layers of redundant management, warehouses, trucks, all the expenses that go along with traditional solar. We have simply built a better mousetrap. Before I turn this over to Charles to walk you through the economics, I want to introduce you to Joe Magro. Joe, are you out there?
Yes, hi. Thanks, Bobby.
Hey, man, we are so honored to have you with us tonight. You know, Joe, when people, first of all, Joe, congratulations on Titan being recognized nationally as the #1 rated solar company in the United States of America, residential installations. How's that feel, my friend? And if you could share with our audience here as they're looking at Powur, how'd you get there? You know, what makes you the #1 residential solar installation company in the United States of America?
Well, you know, David Williamson and Kyle Ladome, who are the founders of the company, started out just like your consultants. They started out in the solar industry, working for others, and they decided they wanted to do something different. And they branched off. They started their own contractor business about 8 years ago with their first sale and their first truck. And through an entrepreneurial spirit and by finding great partnerships just like this one, they decided they wanted to be the very best solar installer that they could be, because they had, as salespeople, had faced a lot of poor installers and had low service that they'd seen in the industry. And they wanted to change that. And they decided that by shifting their focus to be a great installer and finding good partnerships with sales, they could focus on being a great installer and let their partner be a great sales and marketing company with the homeowner. And by doing that, David and Kyle started building a business that started growing rapidly, and then has recently been recognized, which really was a great honor for all the men and women that are a part of this great company.
That's awesome. And I believe you guys have scaled up to what, 700-800 installations a month? Is that where we're at?
That's about right. Yeah, I usually think of it about 200 per week we do across several markets. And we're growing rapidly, particularly in markets like Florida and Texas and some others, where we have our sights set very high.
Well, those are two of our best markets. As you know, we're doing great in Texas, and we're excited for our tour in Florida, and we're excited to be with you down there. So I guess, you know, the $1 million question, Joe, on people's minds often can be, you know, Powur, they're doing things differently than everybody's done before, the Airbnb, the Uber. You know, where do you sit on this? Your excitement level about the model, where we can go together, and our management team, everything you've experienced so far.
Oh, well, it's great because solar is such a great thing for many homeowners, and yet not everyone's had access to it. And the industry's been so fragmented. And now with what Powur is doing by bringing the ability to people who are motivated and excited about solar technology, they can help bring this to all these communities. And I think that's what's fantastic, that your model is so open and is game changing. And really the sky is the limit with your company. You're just scratching the surface. And what you're already doing with bringing solar to homeowners and communities is really amazing to me. And I'm very proud to be a partner with you all and to help drive this growth, particularly in Florida, together.
Well, we're very excited to work with you. We're going to double those installations together in very short order, and enjoy the ride together from a corporate level and with all of our amazing leaders. We're excited to see you in Florida, and we look forward to the tour the first week of October. And this is just the beginning. So thank you so much for your time. I know you've had a long day, family to get to. We appreciate you being on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was my pleasure now. Again, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that's about as good as it gets, personally and professionally. We're just so honored to work with Joe and Titan and the professionals that they are. It really is humbling for us. The next gentleman I want to bring you on, again, just, exemplifies what Powur's about. Just a great human being. I've come to know him. We become best friends. A great family guy beyond any measures you could even imagine. A former military guy who spent 10 years in renewable energy, the energy industry at solar. This is a $500,000 a year guy. Wherever he goes, he leads by example. He's the #1 representative in the United States for Powur. He is a liaison to the corporate team, but just like all of you, 100% of his income comes from the field by selling solar, by building a team of people that sell solar, by mentoring people that sell solar. So I give you our good friend and, again, our leading representative, Mr. Charles Thompson.
Thank you, Bobby. It's truly been a pleasure working with you over the last 4 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years or more. So thank you, sir, for all you do for us and for me. I think the biggest thing to look at is what the money is all about. I'm going to use some terms you may not be familiar with. Don't worry about the terms. Just worry about the dollar signs that are associated with those. We can always break down the terms for you later. The term that we have created is called the cost of goods model. That means what is the wholesale cost that it takes to get the panels on the roof. That's everything that it takes to get on the roof on a base system. And our price in Florida is a low price of $1.95 per watt. So let's take a look at a 10 kW system, just to give you a good comparison. This is an actual deal that has done in multiple states that has been sold at $3.50 per watt. Look at the $35,000 retail price versus the $19,500 wholesale price. There's normally adders that go onto a system. Financing, for example, is an adder. This particular transaction could have had financing and some small upgrade that took place, and those are just added to the cost of goods. In this particular case, the net revenue was $8,500 or 85 cents per watt. The seller commission on this is 70% of the difference, the margin, the spread from the cost of goods, the red line, the baseline, whatever that number might be. You, me, the seller, gets 70% of that revenue. In this particular case, nearly $6,000. Powur gets 30% of that revenue, but they take half of that 30% and they put it back into the compensation plan for those of us who desire to build a team and create passive income. And pause on that. That's the highest commission. I've been in this industry for nearly 10 years and energy for 25. That's the highest commission available. Bobby mentioned we're in San Antonio with literally 60 to 70 solar pros who were staggered by the compensation, double to triple what they normally would make. And here's some real examples. These are transactions that took place right here in my backyard in Texas at a base sell price. In this case, it was $4.08 a watt, but it had a structural panel requirement, a main panel upgrade, a structural stamp, etc. But look at the walk-away commission of nearly $8,600. The contrast to that, this was a deal done in California at a much lower price than what's normally done. The beauty of this is it gives you the control of whatever that price is. You know the red line, you know the baseline, and you price the deal where you need to price the deal. But even though this was a very, very low cost deal that most companies in California wouldn't even allow you to sell at in that market, still walked away with over $3,500 in commission. You're in full control of that. You're in the driver's seat. So that's what I call active income. Anything that you directly sell yourself, that's active income. Passive income is derived by helping other people do the same. So we basically do two things. We sell solar, and the second thing we do is we help other people do the same. Powur has enabled us an incredible revenue share opportunity that we receive for anyone we personally enroll in the company. Plug them into the system. You really have to do much of anything besides that. You get 20% of the revenue that Powur collects. You can then earn residual income off of those individuals in perpetuity. You'll see the average numbers here in just a moment. That's the way you can begin to create that lifestyle that has passive income. And then we have the vehicle to be able to create duplication in that revenue share model. And you're able to take that revenue share down as many as 6 generations. If you look at this in terms of numbers, those who are directly enrolled by you, your average commission is $550. I just saw a deal that came through under my direct is $953. Not a bad passive income on somebody else's efforts. You may find one a little bit lower, but the whole point is the average of $550. As they duplicate, as they begin to build the team, even if it's all people who are directly aligned to them, you get to passively override those individuals as you build your width of your organization. We're a width-driven organization, not depth, but you benefit from the depth that's created. And you can see that that generates passive income anywhere from 5 to 20% of the revenue that Powur collects on every transaction that occurs. That is true passive income, creates that freedom that all of us want. I love to sell, but I love the fact that I know I have a weekly check coming in. Every single week I'm getting paid for the transactions of others. Then we realized we're going to attract a lot of people. There's a lot of money here, and this is an incredibly explosive industry. We're going to find people from all different industries, and you may not necessarily be trained on selling solar. So what we've done is created a mentorship program that allows you to plug into the system, attach yourself to mentors who have sold projects, who have had success in your market, and you work with them on your first 3 projects if you've never sold solar. The reason for that is to help you learn the processes that go along with it, as well as selling solar and all the best practices that occur. Look at it as paid training, because I will tell you, when I started, I was on commission and I struck out my first 10, 12 deals until I finally figured it out. What we determined is we don't want you to strike out. We want you to win. We want to help you achieve that by sharing in the commissions with someone who already has success. A 50-50 split that's done directly through Powur, no side deals, no nothing. It's managed, facilitated through the platform. If you are a solar pro, we can get a waiver for you to be able to get that just your first sold project. The purpose of that is just to learn the system of how to get those deals in the system and not have to worry about skinning your shins or stubbing your toes. Great way to create duplication and build your passive income at the same time. The icing on the cake is really the equity. We looked at Keller Williams, we looked at EXP, we took the best of those models because they were the fastest growing real estate companies on the planet. We took those models and we began to provide company options. On your first install, you get 100 options. Fantastic. What does it mean? I'll tell you in a minute. As you create duplication, the consultant that you have, that you've enrolled, they get 100 options on their first install. You get 50. Then you have the ability to get more options through performance. Just 2 installs a month on average. That's going to be 1,000 options in the company. 1 per week with a 2-week vacation, 5,000 options. Plus, as we go public, and that is the intent, you'll get discounted options because you were part of our early play in this company. That's a phenomenal opportunity. What does it mean? If you look at what happened with Solar City, they burned through, in my opinion, $6 billion without striking a profit. Were acquired by Tesla, still didn't require profit. Direct Energy, a company that I ran a big portion of that company, $17 billion company, never struck a profit on rooftop solar. NRG, $14 billion company, the same. Sungevity, Sun this, Sun that, all the other hundreds of companies. The national companies struggle to do it all. The companies like Titan have done it right. They specialize in what they do and do well, and they partner with companies like us. So what is that story going to look like? You look at all the companies that I'll call it failed, but you have a company like Powur who comes along in 5 years, had bootstrapped the business, crowdfunded money, hadn't given up significant equity. When we go public, this is a success story, a profitable company on a national scale just doesn't exist in the solar industry today until Powur. And that's the power of a platform. You can have all that, but unless you have what you need to assure your success, that's all just words. So we have created a plug-and-play system by which you can get live daily coaching. You can tap into the success system in about an hour and a half. You go through the modules, you take a test, then you partner up with a mentor. Then you can start plugging into the different modules that we have. And as we evolve, our lead generation program will start to kick off. So this is self-generated effort on your part, but we have tremendous amount of mentors who are fantastic at lead generation and can show you how to duplicate that as well. So we have all the tools to be able to do that, but then we have these mind-blowing events. And I mean, literally the event that we had this weekend, although it was not completely a Powur event, it was a mind-blowing event. We had a ton of fun, the culture, the personal transformation. It's not just about wealth creation. It's truly about changing your life, and this culture allows you to do that. I always have to put a disclaimer, that was not a worship session, so don't think you're stepping in anything like that. That was actually having a lot of fun at dancing at an event, a recent event in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then the scalable technology, just amazing tools that we have, weapons that we have in the home. Imagine putting in just a couple of pieces of information, uploading an electric bill, and in 30 minutes or less, you have a dynamic proposal link that allows you to do what most solar consultants would have to go back and request a design team to do. You can change the type of panels we have in the system. You can change the kilowatt hour rate. You can change the size of the system. You can change virtually everything that normally a designer would have to do. And you can do that in real time, right in front of the customer, and show how everything has shifted based upon your consultation with them. Then you can click on a button and qualify that customer for credit with a 30 to 45 second return on that request. Capture that information, then you can request the documents all from that live dynamic link. I've never seen anything like it in the solar industry. I don't know if there's anything like that in any industry, and it is truly changing the game. That's part of the technology that we have. In addition to that, all the project management is handled through Powur. You don't have to chase down permits. You don't have to take care of all the other issues that will normally stub the toes of a solar pro. We manage all the accounting. Powur handles all the compensation. We get paid daily. So if we get paid on a deal from the lender today by 5 p.m., it's in your e-wallet account today. You get paid daily and on your personal activity, and then team commissions as you passively build up. Those are paid out weekly on Friday. Phenomenally quick payouts. All the areas in blue are where we currently sell. We're laser focused right now in California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Florida. However, we do sell in all of these markets, and that dynamic proposal tool that I just shared with you is in every market currently except Illinois. Stay tuned, we're gonna make a change to that. Some of these other markets, we can refer to the older model that we had, the 2.0 model, where we're referring like we did with Solar City, but our laser focus is in the states that I mentioned. With all that, to summarize, what do we have? You look at the strongest commission program in the industry, the 70-30 split over the cost of goods. You get the equity ownership in the company, 6-tier revenue sharing, where you can eventually build that passive income, and that equity ownership can just be the complete icing on the cake and create wealth, true wealth. If we go where I forecast, I envision our equity being valued at about 300 to 400 fold what it is today in terms of par value when we go public, because of the story that goes behind it. That's simply stated. You might think with something like that has a large franchise fee or a licensing fee. It's $99. It's a one-time onboarding fee of $99, gets you through all that certification. And then we all, as members in Powur, we share in the cost of the technology. We contribute to what is going to continue to be the best platform in this industry, API interfacing. And today, we're selling people or enrolling people in solar. The products that will probably be in our future have never been invented or may not ever been invented. And when they do, we'll be the company they go to do that. And it all ties into this technology. So with that said, for those who are listening live, stand by. We're going to go to a Q&A session. For those who are listening to the recorded version of this call, get back to whoever sent this to you, get your questions answered, enroll, become part of this incredible movement. And the best is definitely ahead. Those listening live, stand by, please.